morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us on day one of NANOG 91 here in Kansas. My name is Les Williams, and I'm a member of the program committee at NANOG. I'll be your session moderator for our presentations this morning. To kick things off, we do have joining me on stage Leslie Daigle, Steve Plote, Aaron Wendell, Jared Mouch, and somewhere in the audience we do have Jonathan Black. Leslie is the chair of the NANOG Board of Directors and also Chief Technology Officer and Director of Internet Integrity Program at Global Cyber Alliance. Steve Plote is the chair of the NANOG Program Committee. Aaron Wendell is with our host sponsor, NOCIX. Jared Mouch has sponsored the connectivity for us this week. And as I mentioned, Jonathan is in the audience somewhere, and he is a new executive director. We want to welcome you on stage, as well as welcome Jonathan to NANOG 91.
Thank you. And so, stealing my thunder indeed, we are very pleased to let you know that we in fact have a new executive director. And I would like us to welcome Jonathan Black, who's up here at the front. There is a video interview on the website at this GORP. And you can learn a little bit more about him, but certainly feel free to grab him in the hallway and send him an email and give him a nice welcome and get to know him. So, as Les said, welcome to Kansas City, welcome to Missouri. Fun facts about Kansas City itself. It's called the City of Fountains because there are over 200 fountains that can be found scattered throughout the city. And Walter Cronkite began his career in Kansas City. If I was better at it, I would have been reading this out in a Walter Cronkite voice, but you're spared. Kansas City is the most populous city in Missouri, and there are over 50 companies located in the greater Kansas City area with focus in either cloud, cybersecurity, enterprise information technology, or Internet of Things. So it's a hopping place. Information you probably already wanted to know. Here's how you can get on the conference wireless. The key thing you want to remember is the passkey for the main SSID is NANOG. Some conference statistics, and I urge you to actually go to the URL here to see more information about it. But this is the general information for this particular meeting. As you can see, there's some gender diversity, and there's some organization diversity, and about a third of the attendees are actually NANOG members. So, yeah. Good stuff. Thanks to everyone. Now we'd like to say a special thanks to our sponsors. First up, I would like to have Aaron Wendell come up and give us a word from our meeting host, NOCIX. Aaron.
A little taller. All right, got notes and everything. Thank you. My name is Aaron Wendell. I'm the managing partner for NOCIX, located here in Kansas City. I'm also the executive director of the Kansas City Internet Exchange. I want to welcome everybody today to Kansas City, of course, and NANOG 91. Before I got going, I want to make sure that you guys knew where you were. Oh, there we go. This is Kansas City, Missouri. This is where you guys are. You're in Missouri. All right, but of course, when you hear people talk about Kansas City, they may be talking about Kansas City, Kansas. So there's Kansas, there's Missouri. I get asked all the time if we're in Kansas. Now, if you live in Kansas City, a lot of times you may hear people talk about Kansas City North. This is Kansas City North. It's Kansas City north of the river, not to be confused, oh, it didn't switch, with North Kansas City. So, North Kansas City is important to us because that's actually where NOCIX is located. Oh, that's the whole thing. So NOCIX, we have several affiliates and subsidiaries. We are primarily a dedicated hosting infrastructure as a service company We've been around since 1999. We started as wholesale internet. The company was actually founded on 9999, which is where the IX in NOCIX actually comes from. It's not internet exchange, it is the Roman numeral 9. We operate the 1530 Swift data center, which is the largest data center in Kansas City by AS count. We used to be the largest data center by square footage at 175,000 square feet, and now there's been some consolidation, so we're third. We also operate KC Fiber, and KC Fiber is the fiber provider in North Kansas City. Was originally started by the city of North Kansas City as a municipal fiber utility, and then taken over by us in 2014 when the city decided that really running an ISP was not their thing. North Kansas City is the only city in the world that we know of where, as a resident, you get gigabit fiber to your house free of charge. It's also the only city in the world that we know of where you can buy residential 100 gig service to your house. We do other things like donate a couple hundred gig to the school district, local school district, and other school districts around the city are coming online soon. If you want to know more about NOCIX, of course, we have a website, nocix.com. Or I will be around here at NANOG. I'll also be at Midwest Peering Summit, and you can hit me up there. And that was a very short 5 minutes, but thank you.
Thank you. All right. Also, more thanks due to our premium sponsors, AWS, Aaron, and IBM, as well as our gold premium sponsor, VeriSign. So thank you to them. And also thank you for our meeting connectivity sponsors, Washtenaw Fiber, Cisco Meraki, and Juniper. And with that, Jared, would you like to come and give us a word about connectivity?
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to thank NANOG for giving me an opportunity to talk about this. This is something that has been a challenge for the conference pretty much throughout its entire existence. So in the past, we've ended up back. The first NANOG I attended, I think, was NANOG 8 and stuff, and that was on the campus of U of M. But since then, there's been all sorts of things of bonded T1s, DS3s. I believe one of the ones in Seattle was run over the XKL hardware originally, and such, wireless links, and all of this fiber built into the venue. So like John Van Oppen and Comcast and stuff. It was funny seeing in my Facebook feed. I think it was maybe 10 years ago when we did the 100 gig stuff. We brought in diverse 100 gigs into the venue there. But then the one that was interesting for me going back into history, I remember this one is NANOG 37. It's a case of venue issues. And I apologize for all the reasons. These are actual slides, like a screenshot off the YouTube of the actual slides. I think this was back before all the slides were, done. But it was, there's a microwave. This is Rodney Jaffe talking about what he had to do to get connectivity there and such. So microwave and all that until they found out that there was, the glass on the building had a Faraday cage or had a Faraday rating on it and stuff. So they ended up, with going through the hotel's fiber to the San Jose Convention Center, off this, nothing but net. And such. And if you go look at the online version of the slides, there's a link that you can click that will take you to, the NANOG, I think it was 37 opening. But I think the really important thing, and the reason why I asked for an opportunity to talk about this, is I've been involved in the community for a long time, and the hotel internet has really improved over all of the years that we've been doing these conferences. And the technical needs, have stayed the same with a couple of important caveats. To support the live streaming, you obviously need to have good upload capability that's non-congested, for that type of stuff. And the venues have also identified all of the revenue sources. When we went back to Bellevue wanted to, the hotel there wanted to charge us to use the fiber that we had paid to put into their building, as a conference. and such. And we went and said, no, thank you. We actually paid for that, and we could actually, I believe we still had the invoices and stuff. And the other thing is, you've seen like really big telcos that go and do, brand locking deals. If you go to a Hilton, it always has one consistent internet service provider for all of their brands and stuff like that. And the venues want to charge us, for all sorts of things. For this conference, this is kind of the range of quotes that we got for doing the connectivity. The hotel was willing to do it for, in that 70 to 80 bucket. One of the carriers that, we quoted also came back in that 70 to 80 bucket. And we ultimately got a reasonable quote back from somebody. And through the help of a number of people, we were able to verify all of the connectivity pieces and get the connectivity up Friday evening, just barely in time for the hackathon to come along and such. And what I have personally done is I call it my hobby ISP, but I am actually covering this bill as part of the sponsorship. And, that basically covers, this. So I think there's a very important question for this community to ask itself is, do you value the connectivity? When you look at that, it's $43 a person if there's 500 people here, and I took that as a snapshot of kind of like an average attendee, especially, post-COVID and stuff. And when you look at that, that's something. So what can you do? Please reach out to the NANOG folks. This is also a consistent problem for IETF as well. And such, you can donate the connectivity, or you can be the one who just writes the check and takes on the responsibility for that 12-month contract. And for me, it's ultimately going to be a bit of a tax write-off because it'll go right there in my utilities line item and stuff for me paying for that bill. But the opportunity exists for you to get the sponsorship, value for actually a relatively low cost and such. So my ask for all of you is go back. Talk to your management, or if you're the type of person who has budget to spend for marketing or something else, please look at doing this. It gives you an opportunity to have your name and branding out in front of, between 500 and 700 of your closest industry friends. Here's a list of some of the upcoming meetings. I don't know which ones are needed, but I was pulled in about 2 months ago when the folks at Linespeed who do some of the conferencing for NANOG, they also do the IETF meetings, and I was talking with one of the folks there and said, hey, let's do this. Sorry for taking longer than I said I would, and please, always try and help everyone in the background.
Thank you, Jared, and thank you for laying out the problem for everyone, because it's one of those things that can really go under the covers. More sponsors to be thankful for the Espresso Bar Lounge and the network. For the beer and gear, and we're all looking forward to that. And for our peering sponsors. And our showcase sponsors, and do stop by and thank them in person. And the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Lunch and the Women in Technology Mixer, we've had sponsors. And our social events. I think I zipped by. Can I go back? Yes. And don't want to overlook the virtual meeting fellowship as well as the service sponsors. So thank you to these sponsors. And if I can stop skipping slides, there we go. We are all here as a community, and it's important to understand that we are all individuals, but not just individuals. We are here as a community, and as such, we have to work together following a shared code of conduct, because we have expectations of behavior here, both in the meeting room and around the events, and we have an ombuds team here to turn to if you feel that there has been an issue that needs to be addressed that was outside, that was not compliant with the code of conduct. And yes, this is actually necessary. If you've been here before, you know we've introduced the ombuds team before, and in fact, we do get some reported incidents at each NANOG event, and they get worked through and hopefully resolved. And so it is a needed process, and you should certainly take advantage of it should you need it, and we certainly hope you don't. So if you do make a report to the ombuds team, there's a whole process, and it largely focuses on mediation. I will urge you to review these slides to understand the whole process, but there it is. As I said, there is actually a code of conduct, and it ranges from expecting people to be here to have a mutually interesting technical meeting, so not unduly pushing your own services, product, or causes, or certainly engaging in things that are illegal. It reads like a long list, but the guidelines are pretty simple. And again, I'll direct you to the URL on this page to see the whole code of conduct. And should you feel that there was something happened that was not in alignment with that, these are the two on-site ombuds people, Future Kane and Justin Williams, who may be in the room. Yes, at the back there, so you know that they are there should you need to talk to them. Because we are building community. Thank you. This is an email address that you may wish to take note of particularly. And with that, I hand you over to Steve Plote for the program overview.
Well, we are out of time. Am I live? No, I'm live now. We are out of time, but let me go through some quick things for everybody. So this is our group, our team that basically works on content, not just content coming in, but also to solicit from the industry and from the people that we know. So it's basically people who know people that help to bring in the content to support all the things the community wants to know and wants to see. Some key highlights for the sessions today over the next 3 days. We have obviously talks on automation, BGP. We also have a special talk from IETF on the next generation of work on BGP that they're putting together and doing as part of a standardization process. Our PKI. Security tracks, we have 2 going on in the breakout room, one on routing protocols and how to deal with security issues there, as well as DDoS attacks. So those will be Tuesday and Wednesday to see those. Industry updates, of course, we have ICANN here as well as IETF and Aaron to go and do updates what's going on. We'll try to do updates for industry on a regular basis, different organizations throughout our community to go and help keeping us up to date of what's going on with those locations. Also monitoring IPv6 and a special tutorial on network automation, using automation for doing deployments and next generation setups. Diversity, equality, and inclusion programs. So we have DE events during the week. Yesterday, we had a very successful meeting for women in tech at the Mixer yesterday afternoon. We have a DEI lunch tomorrow, and we also have table topics today and tomorrow. So when you're at lunch break, look for those table topics and sit at the table you want to be at in order to have discussions on anything of interest that you have today or tomorrow. Our 2 keynotes today, we have Corey Quinn, who will be talking about the ebbing tide of network expertise. I think we'll all enjoy that talk for sure. Tomorrow, digital twins is a discussion that Kirite Compella will be putting on. Dr. Compella has been involved very heavily in MPLS and the initial development of MPLS technologies, deployments. If you have some issues regarding the program, recommendation is you use the chat tab. So if you go into the NANOG website, you'll basically go to the online portion of the session today and tomorrow throughout the week, and you'll see a chat tab and as well as a Q&A tab, and you can basically go and put a question in there. It'll be picked up by the local person who's managing that, as well as during the chat to go and see what everybody else is talking about online. So that's worthwhile. You'll also see the agenda and presentation materials there as well. Thank you very much. Krasi says security track is Monday and Wednesday, not Tuesday. Sorry, Krasi. Got that. So today will be the security track. We have a few lightning talks already submitted, but obviously we'd like to see more. So those will happen on Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday afternoon. So for Tuesday, we'd ask that you basically get in a suggested topic and an abstract by the close of today so that we can look at it tonight, vote on it, and then if you can, when you submit your abstract, put your cell phone number in the abstract submission so that we can contact you directly to say you're in, so that you can get your slides done and get them ready to go for tomorrow. And then the same will happen Tuesday for Wednesday. Final slides due the day of the presentation by noon. Finally, and you'll see this a lot during the course of the meeting, we have surveys for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Please fill those out. That helps us basically put together additional content and look for new content that makes sense that people want to see as part of the community, and gives us the opportunity to give you money through a drawing if you are so lucky to be one of the contestants after you've put in your survey to basically win that gift certificate. Finally, all surveys need to be done and in by Friday this week. And with that, we'll start our program. Thank you so much for your attention and welcome.